Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Season 2, Week 21 of DC Sports Digest. Definitely a lot going on this week with the NFL free agency, more Nats spring train, and Wizards and Caps, and a lot more. So without further ado, let's just get started. Starting with the Nats, they had more spring training games. They beat the Astros and Braves. They tied the Marlins. There's no extra innings in spring training. And they also lost to the Marlins, Mets, and the Rays. Um, yeah, and then they also had their spring breakout game this week, one of two, because they have one against the Mets tomorrow. They beat the Astros. One player looked really good was Elijah Green. But yeah, it's been great to see some of the prospects in the spring breakout games. Again, definitely a great idea they did. And then coming up this week, we have more games against the Astros, Cardinals, Marlins, Mets, and Rays. Another week or two of spring training, and then it's going to be opening day before we know it. That's all I got for the Nats. On to the Wizards, they split both home and home series with the Raptors and Pistons, so that was at least great to get a couple wins. Still are in last place, but definitely narrowing the gap. But as long as they're really in those bottom three teams, I really don't care too much, I guess. Rookies are really shining against the Pistons. I think Sarr at 19, and also Bud and Keyshawn played really well, so that's great to see them continuing to develop. Unfortunately, Bilal Coulibaly is out for the season. He had a hamstring injury. I think it's like a 4 to 6 week injury, but that effectively ends the season. No need to rush him back. Make sure he's healthy for next season. And then coming up this week, we have games against the Nuggets, Trailblazers, Jazz, and Magic. So we'll see if we can get some wins, but also stay in those bottom spots to hopefully get a good pick next year. That's all I got for the Wizards. On to the Caps, they beat the Kraken and the Ducks to start off the week well, but then they played pretty bad against the Kings, got shut out by them. Obviously, the offense exploded for 7 against the Ducks. They were shut out by our old friend Darcy Kemper and the Kings, unfortunately. The only other thing I really wanted to talk about, I'll bring up that Lingers re-signed for 3 more years. I totally forgot to do it last week, but good to have him back. But really, the other thing I was going to talk about is Obi's under 10 goals away. So the big issue that was getting talked about is who's going to get the call for the record break, because all the national TV games they want to get it on national TV, obviously. But us Caps fans here locally, we want Joe Beninati on the call. He is honestly a lot better than these national TV guys. So the national TV people, they kind of get to compromise. And Joe Beninati is going to pre-record or just record it, obviously live, but we're not going to hear the call live, which is not great, but you can still hear it back on the recording, so he still gets the call with Joe Beninati on it. So it's a good compromise, I guess, but I would have rather him get the call, but that wasn't really going to happen. But yeah, it's really going to come up soon, probably end of March, early April, because he's 9 goals away, so we'll see when that happens. And coming up this week, we have games against the Sharks, Red Wings, and Flyers. See if he can get a few more goals closer this week. That's all for the Caps. On to the Commanders. It's been a very busy free agency, a lot to recap. This is the list on the screen of all the moves we made. I'm not going to read all of them off, so feel free to pause if you want to look at all of them. But I'm going to talk about a few major ones. The most major, in my opinion, is trading Laremy Tunsil and getting Laremy Tunsil in a fourth from the Texans for a 3rd and 7th this year and a 2nd and 4th next year. It's a really good deal for one of the best left tackles in the league. That position's really shored up, and I'm really excited. He is really legitimately one of the best left tackles. It was an amazing move, especially since Ronnie Stanley re-signed with the Ravens. There was just no options available. We are gonna have to overpay for someone, and that is the one thing Adam Peters does not want to do. He is not going to overpay for someone. But yeah, this is a really great move, and yeah, the offensive line is going to be really interesting. We also signed Nate Herbig, who could fill in for right guard while Cosmi's out. So it's going to be interesting to see how they position people. They're not figuring that out yet, but obviously Tunsil's going to play left tackle. Coleman could move to maybe left guard or right tackle, or I don't know. We're really not sure, but I think it's going to be interesting. And once this line is healthy, once Cosmi comes back, this line is going to be really good, and I'm really excited about that because obviously the O-line was better than last year, better than 2023 last year, but it still could be improved. Jaden still took 43 sacks, I think, which is obviously an improvement from 2023 as well, but I think he'll improve and take less sacks, and also the O-line will improve, and hopefully we'll get that number maybe under 30, I don't know. But it's hard to give a number right now. It's still very early in the offseason. Yeah, that was a great move. Also, made some moves in the secondary. Got Will Harris and Jonathan Jones. Those are solid. Will Harris he's very versatile. He could play anywhere. Jonathan Jones could be our cornerback 3. Also re-signed Nick Monogany, so that was great. Yeah, let me see what other stuff I can recap. We got Zach Ertz and John Bates back. John Bates had actually a pretty big market, surprisingly, but blocking tight ends are really important. He's one of the best out there, so it's great to get him back. Also got Tress Way back, which is great. He's a lifer. It's great to have him back. Also got Marcus Mariota back, valuable backup QB. We also got Noah Brown, got Sheldon Day. Those are some of the biggest re-signs we got. But we did lose a lot of people. Obviously, you already know John Allen was released. He signed with the Vikings. We lost De'Ami Brown to the Jags, Chin to the Raiders. Cornelius Lucas to the Browns. Those are probably some of the biggest ones. Also Zacchaeus to the Bears and Fowler to the Cowboys. So we did lose a lot of guys. And there's still a lot of holes on this team, but there's no reason to freak out. Some of this fan base is like the sky is falling and everything's so terrible we didn't get these guys. I mean, obviously, we're going to want different things than Adam Peters, but I think he has a plan, and there's not really much reason to be concerned. I feel decent at every position, except like edge rusher. We definitely need some edge rushers. I think that's why we re-signed Cleveland Farrell not even that long ago, just because he's a good run stopper on the edge. Then we also got to replace the pass rushing of Dante Fowler because he had 10 sacks last year, so that was great. Unfortunately, we lost him. So definitely some losses, but I think we're prepared to fix those losses. And coming up this week, hopefully there's going to be more free agency moves. I think most of the big moves have already happened just around the league and with us, especially because we don't even have that much cap space left. I think we have like maybe 25 to 30 mil. We've really used up our cap space, which, I mean, why not? What else are you going to do with it? So hopefully some more small moves to shore up things. And then they'll start looking to the draft and see what they're going to do. I'm also going to start making some mock drafts, hopefully before the end of March. So stay tuned for those, and stay tuned for any other moves the Commanders do in free agency. That's all I got for the Commanders. Other DC sports news: DC United continues their hot start to the season. They beat Sporting Kansas City, their first win. They also had 2 draws to stay undefeated. And today they have a game against Montreal to see if they can continue that undefeated streak. Old Glory DC unfortunately lost to Carolina, but they have a game today in Chicago, see if they can rebound. Washington Spirit beat Houston in their season opener. The Champions Cup game. The Champions Cup game was just a little, I guess, exhibition. Didn't count for the season, so they won their season opener against Houston, and their next game is next Saturday. And DC Power lost to Lexington. They have a game against Spokane tonight. And my weekly awards, I'm giving it to Protus again. He's been playing really well. Had his first ever hat trick. Shout out to Obi for passing up another goal. Gave it to Protus for the empty netter to finish his first hat trick. Also got an assist for the Kraken. So congrats to Protus for winning it 2 weeks in a row. Sorry, I couldn't think of anyone else, but Protus still definitely deserved after getting a hat trick. And my team of the week is going to be the Wizards. They got 2 wins, and the rookies played pretty solid. So congrats to the Wizards. And that's all I have for this video. Like I said, mock drafts will be coming soon. Hopefully get them out before the end of March would be my hope, is at least get one out by the end of March. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Check out the Instagram. I was posting a lot about the free agency moves, so let me know if you have any suggestions on like what to post, or if I should keep posting my stories or make more actual posts. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, and go check it out. And that's all I got for this video, so thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!